during their journey. So the first is a drug. Of course, those who are the participants, they are from the B Farm, maybe in M Farm. So as we know that is the channel of supply, the first any of the drug that we are taking, so that drug it is goes under the phase 1 trial, phase 2 trial, phase 3 trial, and then after it is succeeded, then it is goes toward the development for in terms of their absorption, distribution, then excretion, metabolism, and after that it is a process, I mean manufacturing process was carried out in the different kind of the dosage form. Either it may be tablet form, either it may be capsule form, and different kind of dosage form, the drug would be converted into the particular dosage form. Then again that quality control is to be carried out for the quality and purity of the drug. The drug it is goes for the and final formulation goes for the packaging, and that packaging goes for the storage, and after that, after the storage, the drug it is undergoes for the marketing, and marketing peoples they are informed to the doctors as well as which is reached to the pharmacy store as well as the hospital, and then after it is reached to the patient. So just I am talking about this is the entire supply chain of the our routine drug, and with this drug it is reached to the patient. But friend, just I'll be ahead about this topic. Just I want to know during the pandemic situation of this COVID-19, we are totally depend on almost many of the world. They are depend on the China, because this China they are more producing the API, that is the active pharmaceutical ingredient. So during that time, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has talked in his speech that we have this is the time in the pandemic situation that we have to self-sustain and self-reliance for this Atmanirbhar Bharat. So during that time, our entire pharmaceutical industry they are totally focused on this Atmanirbhar Bharat, and the drug it is started in, and vaccination is also started in the country. So during this pandemic situation of COVID-19, how this our two vaccine was developed. One is the Covaxin and another is the Covishield. Covaxin was developed by the Bharat Biotech, and another Covishield was developed by the Serum Institute. And one more, this Zydus Cadila, they are also preparing and they are under the trial for this Zycov-D. So these three vaccination was developed by the India. Friends, just I have before just a few days ago, I have one lecture in the LM College of Pharmacy, and I have already told during that time on the Atmanirbhar Bharat. So around 259 activities was carried out under this Atmanirbhar Bharat, as well as around 10,80,848 participants were joined under this Atmanirbhar Bharat, and around 292 organizations as well as different kind of ministries they have been involved for this Atmanirbhar Bharat. So why I am talking about this, it is also co-relevant with the scope of the pharmacy. Just when we have completed our Bachelor of Pharmacy, then Master of Pharmacy, of course, scope was there, and still there is a scope for the pharmacy. But in a few years back, there would be some recession in the pharma field. But nowadays, entire these many students, they are taking the as a choice for the pharmacy, and they are choosing their career as a pharmacy. Of course, you all are the lucky, and you are studying in the premier institution as a Parul University. So just different kind of the scopes. I'm just touching to each and every scope. That is a teaching profession. Of course, it's a very noble profession as a teaching. Then manufacturing department, then formulation department, research department, regulatory sections, biotechnology, government analyst, National Research Institute, that is a NIPOR, then clinical pharmacist, retail pharmacist, and hospital pharmacist, as well as there is a marketing representative of the sales and marketing. Friends, nowadays many people they are developing their our own business, and just under this Atmanirbhar Bharat, Miss Astha Mehta, she is from Mumbai, and she has developed one bracelet to help the senior citizen to take the daily medication to the senior citizen peoples. So there are lots of people they are coming with their startups, and here that is we have to give we would not be a job seekers, but we have to job providers. So that is the basic message of our Atmanirbhar Bharat, and it is co-relevant with our field also, this pharmacy. So here I would also request to all the students that this being on the Atmanirbhar Bharat, Government of India has launched around more than 20 lakhs of crore package was given by this our honorable Prime Minister. And we are insisting you that all the pharmacy, all the pharma students, they can be start their own startup and give the jobs to the other people also. At present, there are many institutes, they are providing different kind of the programs, like either it may be Diploma of Pharmacy, it's a DPharm, Bachelor of Pharmacy, BPharm, Master of Pharmacy, Doctor of Philosophy, as well as Doctor of Pharmacy, it's a PharmD. And again, this program, it is regulated by the either AICTE as well as the PCI, this is a Pharmacy Council of India. So Pharmacy Act, that is a basic, it is the act to regulate the profession of the pharmacy. Why the Pharmacy Act it is required? So in India, there was no any restriction and to practice the profession of the pharmacy. Yes, profession of pharmacy. One could practice this profession as any other profession. Persons having no knowledge and having no education in pharmacy or any pharmaceutical chemistry or pharmacology, but they were engaged in this profession. Anyhow, when we are traveling to the some of the roads, if you can see, there are lots of people. They are just making one tent, and they are sold some Ayurvedic products. If you can see, on the highways, there are lots of people. They are creating some tent and they are selling these products. So they do not having any knowledge, but many people just they are taking such a type of medication, and there would be lots of troubles they have been facing. Hundreds of cases were found by the government of Gujarat, in fact government of India, wherein the compounding as well as the mixing or dispensing of medicines was being done by the persons who were not adequately educated in these fields, and this causing a very great harm to our health of the peoples. It was found necessary to enact a law for the regulation of the profession and practice of the pharmacy. So to achieve this goal of the pharmacy, the bill 1940 was introduced in the legislature, which was later referred to the Select Committee, and the recommendation of the Selection Committee were incorporated in the bill. After this Pharmacy Act in 1940 was introduced. Then after the adoption of law order in 1950s, adoption laws in number 3 in order 1956, 1959 in Pharmacy Act, its amendment was carried out. Again, amendment was carried out in 1976, 1982, again another amendment was carried out. Then some legislation provision also carried out in 1985. In 2015, another regulation was to come into this law. It's the Pharmacy Practice Regulation 2015. What is the 2015 regulation? Is the Pharmacy Practice Regulation. The Government of India issued a notification entitled is a Pharmacy Practice Regulation 2015, which is aimed at enhancing the status and the practice of the pharmacy profession in the country. The Pharmacy Practice Regulation in 2015, framed by the Pharmacy Council of India, is currently regulated by the Pharmacy Act 1948 and the Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940. The new set of regulation of 2015 laid down a uniform code of the pharmacy ethics, responsibilities of the pharmacist toward the patient, role of community pharmacists, and the drug information and more. The pharmacists are expected to interact with the patients, doctors, nurses in educating the patient in collaborative care model. The regulation has made attending continuing education program, also called as a refresher course, mandatory. So that's why each and every pharmaceutical education institution, they are doing the refresher course. I think this Parul University, they are also organizing refresher course. Apart from this, in Baroda, there are many pharmacy colleges, they are also organizing the refresher course. And just a few days back on the World Pharmacy Day on the 25th of September, the Gujarat State Pharmacy Council has given many awards to the different institutions, those who have carried out many number of refresher course for our registered pharmacists, because this is the world entirely day by day. The research is going on day by day. The teaching method is totally different on when we have learned our BPharm curriculum. Nowadays, the BPharm curriculum is to be changed. Entire country has the one regulation for this Pharmacy Practice Regulation as well as the Pharmacy Act. So every day, the day by day knowledge is come, and those who are the registered pharmacists, so of course, just they have very limited knowledge when they are dispensing the drugs to the patient. So based on this model, this government had decided, and they have given very strict action on this based on this Pharmacy Practice Regulation 2015. When you want to make your license is to be renewed, at that time your refresher course is must be attended, and minimum two refresher course that you have to be attend. So being the main aim and objective of refresher course is nothing but just to aware the latest and update the knowledge in terms of the pharmacy. So in exercise the power conferred by section 10 and 18 of the Pharmacy Act 1948, Pharmacy Council of India, with the approval of the central government, make the regulation, namely Pharmacy Practice Regulation, it's a 2015. So registered pharmacist definition: a person whose name is for the time being entered in the register of the state in which he or she is for the time being residing or carrying on his or her profession or business of the pharmacy. So basic objective of this act to restore the pharmacy in health services, raising the status of the profession in the pharmacy in India, to regulate the practice of the pharmacy in India, to provide uniform education and training in the India, to maintain the control over the persons entering the profession of the pharmacy, to protect the public health, especially medical use of the drug and the drug abuse. Nowadays, many people, we are seeing that lots of people, they are using the drug abuse, and this drug abuse and many drugs, as in terms of the steroidal drugs, they are over the doses they are using by the doctors. So again, this act is give the provision to control the protect the public health. Pharmacy Council of India. So Pharmacy Council of India, that having the statutory body which is constituted by the central government. On the first of Central Council was constituted in March 1949. It is reconstituted at every 5 years and regulate the pharmacy profession. Composition of Pharmacy Council of India. Just I am highlight this. I will not take much more details. Just highlight the details on the elected members. So 6 members, they are from the UGC, 1 member by the Medical Council of India, and 1 member by the State Council. Same nominated members is there. Then 6 members, they are from the central government. A representative of the UGC as well as the AICT, 1 member by the State Council. Similarly, the ex officio members, they are the Director General of the Health Services, 1 Director of the Central Drug Laboratory, and the Drug Control of the India. So this is the composition of the Pharmacy Council of India. Generally, function and duties of the Pharmacy Council of India to prescribe the minimum standards of education required for qualifying as a pharmacist. Because nowadays, today, the minimum qualification is a diploma of pharmacy as well as bachelor of pharmacy, then master of pharmacy. And the standards, it is defined by through the education by the Pharmacy Council of India. Framing of education regulation prescribing the condition to be fulfilled by the institution, seeking approval of the PCI for the imparting education in the field of pharmacy, to ensure the uniform implementation of the educational standards throughout the country. Inspection of pharmacy institution, that seeking approval under the Pharmacy Act to verify the availability of the prescribed norms. Many organizations, many institutions, they have been started the pharmacy curriculum, but they are not affiliated with either Pharmacy Council of India. They are not approved with the Pharmacy Council of India as well as this AICT. At least they have to be approved either by PCI or either by the AICT. So the basic aim that to give the proper uniformity is to be maintained in the terms of pharmacy education. To approve the course of the study and examination to pharmacists, in other words, approval of the academic training institution providing the pharmacy courses. To withdraw the approval if the approved courses of the study or an approved examination does not continue to be in conformity with educational standards prescribed by the PCI. To maintain the central register of the pharmacy. Each and every pharmacist, their entry is to be enter in this central register. I'll be talk later on about the central register, and which is governed by this Pharmacy Council of India. What are the powers of the Central Council to make the regulations? So the management of its property and the maintenance and auditing of the accounts, as well as the holding the meetings, fixing the functions, duties and powers of the Executive Council Committee, President as well as the Vice President, their qualifications, terms of office, power, duties of the secretary, inspector, and other officer of the council. Education regulation, the central council, after the approval of the central government, may make the regulation prescribing minimum standard of education required for the qualification of pharmacists. It is called as education regulations. This education regulation prescribe minimum qualification for admission to course, nature of period of course of the study, nature of the period of practical training to undertaken after the completion of the regular course, and the subject of the examination, as well as the equipment and facilities also to be provided by the institution to the students undergoing approved course of the study. Condition to be fulfilled by the institution giving practical training. Condition to be fulfilled by the authorities holding the approved examination. So that's why when the students, they are taking the admission during the either B.Pharm, D.Pharm or M.Pharm. So, when we are taking the admission in the ACPC, or either when you are taking directly to the any university. So these are the basic concept that we have to check, either that university or that institution, they are providing such a kind of the, practical trainings, or they are having the particular equipment or faculties, either it is available or not. So these are the basic criteria that we have to check before taking any admission. And of course, you are the students, and you are the, faculty members, you are the part of this Parul University, that having each and every equipment it is available, as well as very core faculty it is available in the Parul University, and they are giving a continuously the tremendous knowledge they are providing to the each and every students. Central Council, before submitting the education regulation to the central government for the approval, send the copies of the draft of the education regulation and subsequent amendment to the all state government to take into consideration of the comments of any state government received within the 3 months. An executive committee time to time report to the central council on efficacy of the education regulation. Now, our main topic is the central register of the pharmacist for the pharmacist registration. So, central council has to maintain the prescribed manner of registered pharmacist to be known as a central register, which contain name of all the persons whose names entered in the register for the state. Whenever we are entering our name or in our state pharmacy council, so that name again reads to the central register and in the Pharmacy Council of India. And every state council has to supply minimum 5 copies of the register for the state to the central council as soon as after the first day of April every year. So that's why the tenure for the registration, or for the renewal, it is the 1st of January to 31st of March. In between, every renewal has to be carried out, and after the first day of the April, after that the state council, as it is, submit their data to the central register. Registrar of the central council has to keep the central register in accordance with the order made by the central council, and should revise the central register from time and publish in the Gazette of India. After receiving the report of registration of person in the register for the state, registrar of the central enter the name of the such person in the central register. The State Pharmacy Council, so in the Ahmedabad, the Gujarat State Pharmacy Council, office of the registrar, it is available, the block number 04, New Mental Hospital Complex, Asarwa. So Gujarat State Pharmacy Council is a statutory body constituted by Government of Gujarat under the Pharmacy Act 1948. And it consisting of around this composition of State Pharmacy Council. It's elected members, nominated members, as well as the ex officio members. Elected members, they are the 6 members elected by the registered pharmacist of the particular state, as well as one member who is registered of medical practitioner elected by the Medical Council of India. Nominated members, they are the 5 members nominated by each state, of which at least 3 should be a degree or diploma holders in the pharmacy or pharmaceutical chemistry. A chief administrative officer in charge medical health service of the state or his or nominee. Similarly, office in charge for the Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940 of each state or his or nominee. Similarly, one government analyst under the DCA 1940 nominated by the state government. Friends, currently the registrar, he is Shri J.S. Chaudhary. He is the registrar for this Gujarat State Pharmacy Council. This is the postal address for this Ahmedabad. This is a contact number, email address. And visiting day and for the timing, it's a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, except on the public holidays, 11 to 1:30 p.m. This is the timing for the visit of the Gujarat State Pharmacy Council. When I have completed my BPharm, and then after I went to the Gujarat State Pharmacy Council, just I am talking about in 2004-5, around that tenure. So it was during that time the officer was constituted under the State Pharmacy Council. The process was very delayed. Those who are coming from the Vapi, those who are coming from the Surat, and apart from that, more than 1 day, 2 days that we have to spend, and it was very critical procedure that was carried out for the registration of a pharmacist. But under just last 4 to 5 years back, under the leadership of our Sri Montubai Patel, he is the president of Gujarat State Pharmacy Council, as well as a visionary leadership of Dr. C.N. Patel, as well as the Dr. Shrenik Shah, he is the vice president. That core team of this Gujarat State Pharmacy Council, they have checked and they have verified what are the problems they are facing by each and every students, and each and every problems they have been solved easily. And so that's why they have sent appointment. It is carried out through the email. Then after the registration, it is carried out. Each and every things, it is available on the website. So each and every person, they can be occupied any knowledge from the Gujarat State Pharmacy Council website, and they cannot be suffered and they cannot be waste their time. So function of the State Pharmacy Council, it's a register. This is a very core function of the State Pharmacy Council. It is the registration of the pharmacist, the renewal. Each and every year that we have to make the renewal, then restoration and re-entry. In the migration to seek the NOC from other State Pharmacy Council, out migration to give NOC to other State Pharmacy Council, good standing validity certificate to the foreign countries, duplicate certificate on demand after the due verification, elections to the council to elect the 6 of its 15 members, regular meetings of the executive committee and general body of the council. So these are also functions, as well as the receipt and dispatch of DAC, disposal of undelivered DAC, attending public inquiries both on appearance on by the post, coordination with the state government, with Department of Medical Education, Research and Health and Family Welfare, coordination with the Pharmacy Council of India, with other State Pharmacy Council, coordination with the Professional Institute, regular refresher course for registered pharmacists, promotion of professional efficiency and prestige, coordination with the chemist, pharmacist for better employment ties for their balance ration in the state, just as well as the vigilance to avoid the sabotage, false scandals, to ensure the genuineness of the registration process, court cases, litigations, legal matters, policy matters, and to constitute subcommittee to look into this specific matter. So these are the different kind of the functions of the Gujarat State Pharmacy Council. And of course, they are in the last few years, the entire team, they are working very well. Just few years back, they are also seeing the many of the pharmacists, they are giving their license on the rent basis. So just that team, they are make them vigilance, and they are suspend their license for particular tenure. So such a type of activity they are also carried out, as well as their coordination with the Pharmacy Council of India. And just a few years back, just I have seen each and they are making some applications by the Gujarat State Pharmacy Council, that you can take any information from the medical stores surrounding your nearest area. So they are day by day under the good visionary leadership of entire team. The Gujarat State Pharmacy Council, they are working very well under these different kind of the functions, as well as the maintenance of the account, bill, income, expenditure. These are the routine their work. Entry of new changes, registration of additional qualification, providing certified copies of entries in the register, as well as maintenance of yearly up-to-date register on the April 1st, with the total number of registered pharmacists, numbers added during the year, number of restored, number of erased, number of the removed by the date. This is a very core function they are carried by the State Pharmacy Council, because it is very much necessary. Each and every pharmacist, they should be registered. In particular, the two register, one is from the Gujarat State Pharmacy Council and another is the first register. Registration of the pharmacist. So this is the registration of pharmacist. The Pharmacy Act 1948, it's provide the registration of pharmacist. There are the two different kind of the register. One is the first register and second one is the subsequent register. So register shall include following particular names: their full name, residential address of the registered person, date of his first admission of the register, his qualification of this registration, his professional address, his employed or not employed, then such further particulars it may be prescribed. Preparation in the first register. So first register, the state government has to continue the registration tribunal, and that consists of 3 persons, the registrar who is become a secretary. Tribunal fix the date of on or before which all application or registration with prescribed fee are accepted. All applications are examined. If tribunal is satisfied, then it direct the entry of the name applicant on the register. If application for the first register, it should each and every applicant should be 18 years old. They resides or carries business profession pharmacy in the concerned state. Should hold a degree, diploma of pharmacy, pharmaceutical chemistry, chemist registered diploma of pharmacy. Qualification granted by authority outside India which adequate of registration. Degree of Indian University with not less than 3 years experience in dispensing in hospital. Pass the examination dispenser recognized by the state government, not less than 5 years experience of compounding prior to date of notified by the tribunal. Subsequent registration from the register of pharmacies, first registration, constitution of the state council take place. Application, they are invited for fixed date, address to the register. If registrar found the application as requisite qualification, he may direct her name to be entered in the register. If application has been rejected by the registrar, he or she may appeal to the state council within 3 months of the rejection, and decision of the state council shall be final. Sometimes it may be possible that any organization, if they are not approved by the Pharmacy Council of India, and might be possible any wrong information provided by the okay. So during that time, the registrar they scrutinize the application, and if application is not found suitable, so it is a matter under for the council for the appeal, and after that the state council will be the decision would be the final for in that cases. Now our entire main focus is the pharmacist new registration. So basic criteria for the pharmacist new registration: so person who is attaining the age of 18 years and successfully completed either diploma pharmacy, degree pharmacy, PharmD or PharmD PB, courses in the pharmacy from any institution approved by the Pharmacy Council of India. During the completion of the degree or diploma will be entitled to his or her name enter as a pharmacist on the register of the council, and is subject to he or she reside or carry on the business or profession of the pharmacy in the Gujarat state. Candidate will have to come personally to Pharmacy Council with all the original document as mentioned below and certified true copies at the Pharmacy Council office for the registration. So each and every candidate that they have to go for personally to the State Pharmacy Council with all the documents, fulfill all the documents. But before going to that, you have to take the appointment. And appointment that you have to take for the registration of pharmacy through an email. So you have to send one email is a pharmacy-guj@nic.in. So I have just draft one formal letter. It is also available on the Gujarat State Pharmacy Council website. Just simply to the registrar, Gujarat State Pharmacy Council, gate number 6, block number 43, third floor, opposite Cancer Hospital, Asarwa, Ahmedabad. Subject is the appointment for the registration as a pharmacist. I so and so was a student of, for example, if the Parul University. So this faculty of pharmacy, Parul University, and your enrollment number, your tenure, your batch tenure, and you have completed BPharm in so and so. So I am intending to register myself in Gujarat State Pharmacy Council as a pharmacist. I hereby request you provide the appointment for the registration as a pharmacist. So friends, this is a one simple email. You can change by your own language, but this is an example. So you just write email to this pharmacyguj@nic.in, and they will be replied, and they will give the time slot. So during that time slot that you have to present in at Gujarat State Pharmacy Council and for the further procedure. So what are the documents that you have to require? So first is the Form G for the BPharm of PharmD or PharmD PB. Then accompanying form. I'll also show what is the Form G and accompanying form. Forwarding letter. Then one recent passport size photograph of the applicant. In case of any change in the name of the applicant, those who are female candidates, and if they have been married, so if the surname is to be changed during that time, they have to produce the marriage certificate. A copy of gazette notification if any surname or name is to be changed. Then proof of birthplace, either you have the school leaving certificate, college leaving certificate, or either birth certificate from the competent authority that you can produce. Then proof of the residence in the Gujarat, so you can produce either electrical bill, telephone bill of your parent of the candidate, LIC policy, or any identity card, either issued by the Election Commission, tax bill from the relevant authority from the Panchayat or Nagarpalika or municipal corporation, Aadhaar card, then as well as your SSC, HSC board mark sheet, and then D Farm and B Farm, as well as college bona fide course completion certificate with period of study, college living transfer certificate mentioned in date of admission, period of completion of study in pharmacy. In the case of applicant who have passed diploma degree in pharmacy examination from any institution of other than Gujarat state, so in that cases they have to require this certificate. Those who have completed their bachelor's, D Farm, B Farm, or M Farm in other state, then degree diploma pharmacy mark sheet of all the years starting from and now from semester 1 to semester 8, each and every mark sheet that you have to be produced. Degree or diploma pharmacy certificate obtained from the relevant university, board of examination, provisional certificate. I mean, nowadays I think many universities, they have been this 2017 to 21 batch already passed out, and this year maybe many of the university the convocation is still in pipeline. So maybe possible that you have the provisional degree certificate that you can also produce to the State Pharmacy Council. Then another very important aspect is the practical training completion certificate. This practical training certificate, that you have to go for the practical training in either any industries or any industries, and you have to procure it from the that industry. Those who are completed that diploma pharmacy, they have to go for the hospital, and that practical training certificate there you have to submit. Then proof of employment of business of candidate mentioned under column number 7, A, B in the form G. Suppose if you are doing after the Bachelor of Pharmacy completion or Masters, if you are either you are doing any job or either you are doing any business, so that you have to give the details about your employer details, where you are working. Then an affidavit that you have to carry out as per the specimen. I'll also show you that affidavit. In case of applicant who is passed diploma degree pharmacy examination from any reputed institution of Gujarat or other than Gujarat state, then undertaking an affidavit as per the specimen. This is for that you have to register only the Gujarat state, and you have not registered in other state pharmacy council. So that's why that you have to submit and undertaken an affidavit. I will show this form. So this is the form G, form of application for the registration of pharmacist. This form G, it is available on the website, as well as it is also available in the State Pharmacy Council at Ahmedabad. This is the accompanying form that you have to fill your details, your name, address, date of place details, nationality, address of your business, your degree or diploma, your current present employer or previous employer details. This is the registration as pharmacist forwarding letter, and with the forwarding letter that you have to compile first application form G, one recent passport size, birth proof, wherever yes it is mandated that you have to submit, proof of residence of Gujarat state, then the Aadhaar card, as well as the SSC, HSC, as well as your mark sheet, college bona fide, college completion certificate of your tenure, diploma degree mark sheet of entire all the semesters, as well as a degree diploma certificate, then practical training certificate I have already earlier mentioned. In case of you are unemployed, then you have to give self declaration. I am the unemployed till now, that you have to give this self declaration, and affidavit that you have to produce. Then prescribed registration fee, I'll be also tell you what would the registration be. Then self address cover that you have to submit. So this is the form as well as the documents that you have to provide. This is an affidavit, and here is affidavit. It is mentioned that as far as this is your details about your name, in which college that you have been passed out, and you have not applied to any other state pharmacy council in India for the registration under Pharmacy Act 1948. Hence, regarding if you have not granted registration by any state pharmacy council of India. And last line also, I know that false affidavit is a criminal offense of the present Indian Penal Code. So if you can produce any false information to the State Pharmacy Council, that leads to, under the Indian Penal Code, you will be, offenses would be carried out, and you have to give, you have to submit each and every true document, otherwise you will be punishable. So just few years ago, such a kind of State Pharmacy Council, they are giving this license. I mean, it's a certificate. That certificate, that having your name, your birth date, as well as your certificate number and your date of the registration with your passport size. It was around 2009. After 2013, it was carried out in digital form, and they are also giving some code. I think QR code. There are some code they have been displayed on the this license. Just recently, this Sri President Sri Mantu Patel, they have started very good initiative, and this smart card they are producing to each and every pharmacist. So here it is the smart card, and for smart card that you have to apply, it is the link for the Google Form link. It is already available on the website. So this type of the State Pharmacy Council, they are producing the smart card with the QR code. So in the when the QR code will be scanned, your registration detail, your renewal detail will be available. Re-entry: a registered pharmacist who failed to renew his her registration before 31st of the March of the concerned year, and the name of the such pharmacist is removed from the register of the pharmacist in accordance to the provision of the Pharmacy Act 1948 and the rules thereunder. If the pharmacist desired to re-enter his or her name in the register, she has to apply the prescribed Form L along with the document and prescribed fees. Suppose those two registered pharmacist registration renewal, it is carried out in between the January to 31st of March. But somehow if it is missed, then again your name would be removed. So that re-entry that you have to carry out, and with Form L that you have to fill. So Form L, then supporting document, that forwarding letter, self-attested copy of the pharmacist registration certificate, degree certificate, proof employment, witness information, that Form L with complete details, address, registration number, passport size photograph, Aadhaar card and self-address cover that you have to submit. Fee structures. So, the prescribed fee should be paid either by online, either e-payment, or by cash, or by cross demand draft in the favor of Gujarat State Pharmacy Council, drawn on the State Bank of India, Ahmedabad, or any nationalized bank payable to the Ahmedabad. And no other mode of the payment is acceptable. If you can fresh registration, if you are carried out, so if you are completed your pharmacy in Gujarat State, the registration fee would be the 2,000 rupees. Fees for the fresh registration, if college is from the outside the Gujarat, then it's a fees of 5,000 rupees. Fees for the transfer of the registration from outside Gujarat is 5,000 rupees. If registration is made after 1 year of passing, then late charges would be the 100 rupees to be paid along with the registration fee, and 50 rupees for the postal or the courier charges. So this is the registration fee. So if the students you are doing now Bachelor of Pharmacy, so after completion of B.Pharm, that you have to pay the necessary fee. I mean, currently it's a 2,000, and it will be time to time it will be updated. So you have to fill this, pay this necessary fees for the new registration. Then renewal. So retention of the name of the registrar subject to payment of the prescribed fee annually before the first day of the April. If you want to continue your name as a registered pharmacist, then you should be make the renewal. And if the renewal fee is not paid by the due date, the registrar shall remove your name as a defaulter from the register, and provided that name so removed may be restored to the register on such condition may be the prescribed. On the payment of the renewal fee, registrar shall issue the receipt. Therefore, on such receipt shall be proof of renewal of registration. Entry of additional qualification obtained by registered pharmacist shall also be entered in the register on the payment of the prescribed fee. So suppose now you are doing the B.Pharm after once you completed your master's. So you can also add your further qualification into your State Pharmacy Council. Renewal fee. So registered pharmacist has to renew his or her registration every year by paying just 100 rupees for each and every year, including the administrative charges, or 5 years by paying the 500 rupees, because each and every year people they are staying in the other than Ahmedabad. So it is sometimes it is very much difficult to come into the personally or Ahmedabad for the renewal process, During that time, you can make the renewal up to the 5 years, and the 5 years charges would be 500 rupees, including the administrative charges between 1st of January to 31st of the March of the concerned year. The above amount should be paid by either cash or cross demand draft in favor of Gujarat State Pharmacy Council, drawn on the State Bank of India, Ahmedabad, or any nationalized bank of the payable at Ahmedabad. So renewal application form, just you have to pay copy of renewal fees, previous registration certificate, one passport size photograph, Aadhaar card, refresher course certificate. I have already told you, it is very much important to the each and every pharmacist. They have to go for the refresher course. When your refresher course would be carried out, then and then you will be your license would be renewed. So refresher course, it is carried out, and this refresher course detail, it is available on on the website of the Gujarat State Pharmacy Council, and almost surrounding our area, surrounding almost all the district, there is pharmacy college, and almost each and every pharmacy college, they are regularly they are organizing the refresher course. So suppose any pharmacist they want to attain this refresher course will be the 2 days, and during the 2 days they are updating their knowledge in terms of entire this or pharmacy curriculum, as well as the latest update they are giving. So in this refresher course, then self-address cover with the postal stamp of 30 rupees. After that, they will be sent one just simple receipt of the renewal, and that receipt of the renewal would be the valid for your continuing your license. Removal from the registrar. So the name of the pharmacist may be removed from the registrar. I already told you, if his name has been entered in register by error or an account of misrepresentation, that he has been convicted of any offences or has been guilty of any infamous conduct in any professional respect, which an opinion of executive committee render him unfit to be kept in the register. I have already earlier told you that some of the shop owners, they are taken the pharmacist license on the rent basis. So immediately that executive committee, they have taken decision, and the license would be suspended. If the employed person is registered pharmacist, his name may be removed from the register if the offences was investigated by the registered pharmacist himself, if the repetition of similar offences or conduct during the period of the 12 months. If any person is employed by the registered pharmacist for the purpose of his business of pharmacy, the name of the pharmacist may be removed from the register if person has been guilty of similar offences during preceding 12 months and registered pharmacist had knowledge of such offences, and these offences had continued over period and registered pharmacist had knowledge. So under this, registered pharmacy has not used his intelligence to see provision of DNC Act. Her name can be removed only by the executive committee of the State Pharmacy Council. Removal of names may be either by permanent or for the specific period of time. These are some frequent questions generally asked. What is the refresher course? So it is a 2 days program for continuing the education and knowledge updation in the field of pharmacy. Who can do so? All the registered pharmacists registered under the Gujarat State Pharmacy Council, having valid registration certificate, they are eligible for doing the refresher course. It is compulsory. Of course, it is compulsory. It is mandatory for the renewal as per the Pharmacy Regulation 2015. Under this Act, it is very much necessary and it is compulsory. How I can do so? Please check the schedule, select the suitable institutes. I already tell you, it is available, the details of the refresher course on the website. Syllabus also given on the website. Then information. So nearest pharmacy colleges, they are offering this refresher course. They are always carried out. And if I have completed refresher course, but my certificate is pending. Suppose if in the case refresher course is carried out and certificate is pending, so you may please contact to the State Pharmacy Council for the further proceeding. Issue the duplicate certificate for the registration, where it is shown to the satisfaction of the registrar that certificate of registration has not been lost or destroyed. Register may, on payment of the prescribed fees, issue duplicate certificate in the prescribed form. Re-entry, I already tell you, suppose if document registration renewal, it is not carried out in between the January to 31st March. So again, they have to go for the re-entry. Procedure for acquiring the good standing certificate. Suppose any student, those who are migrated and is intending to migrate to the foreign country. So for this purpose, they have to require the pharmacy license and registration to practice for pharmacists in concerned country. to desire to get admission to pharmacy institution in such a country, they are need of the good standing certificate or any certificate from Gujarat State Pharmacy Council, which is available just by paying the 5,000 rupees, and you will be get it. So just you have to pay the form and as well as pay the necessary fee. Then transfer of registration. Suppose transfer to Gujarat, many other peoples they are shifted to the Gujarat state. So during that time they have been registered under the different other state pharmacy council. So if they are transferring to Gujarat, so they want to permanently they want to start here business. So that registration they can be transferred to the Gujarat. So a person who is a registered pharmacist in other state pharmacy council and is now residing in Gujarat state, intending to carry the business and profession in pharmacy, they can apply for the transfer of his registration to Gujarat state by submitting an application prescribed Form G. All the necessary supporting documents, testimonials, which is available, and along with necessary fee. So, and in fact, NOC is also required from respective pharmacy council, and they have to submit to Gujarat State Pharmacy Council. So that can be carried out. These are the different kinds of the requirements for the forms. Similarly, transfer from Gujarat. So any candidate, those who want to, they are migrated to other state and they want to require. So similarly, similar kind of the NOC, they can be occupied from the Gujarat State Pharmacy Council. Offenses and penalties. So falsely claiming to be registered pharmacist. So the fine would be the 500 rupees on first conviction. Fine up to the 1,000 or 6 month imprisonment of any subsequent conviction. Suppose it's dispensed by unregistered pharmacist except in medical practitioner, 6 months imprisonment or fine up to the 1,000 rupees or both. Failure to surrender certificate of registration, fine up to 50 rupees. Obstructing the state pharmacy council inspectors. Many times, our drug inspector, they will be arrived on the medical store, and if they are obstructing, so there would be penalties for the 6 months imprisonment or fine up to the 1,000 rupees or both. So at last conclusion, so nowadays there is a increase in number of disease, and in fact COVID-19 we are the witness. So facing these challenges, one should to establish never cheaper drug with the standard quality. Pharmacy Act provide you to establish the whole pharmacy field with the ethical streamline point of view. So there is a need several long legal action that can break through this novel healthcare profession. And I would request you, we never give our pharmacist license to any owner of the pharmacy store on a rent basis, because when we are giving this on a rent basis, of course we are dilute our pharmacy field. So this is one of the press note was given, pharmacist tarike bhade apnara chona registration rad karaya. So Gujarat State Pharmacy Council, they are, of course they are acting, they are working on very well on this matter, but this is our moral and ethics, this is our duty. Our license we cannot provide to any shop owner on the rent basis. If you are, if you want to open your pharmacy store, of course then you will be a registered pharmacy, then you can utilize, but you cannot be give on the rent basis. So on this entire this webinar, this is our core message for this core message to you, that we never give our pharmacist license to any owner of the pharmacy store on the rent basis. And finally, these are the pharmacist oath. Of course, it is written, and I hope each and every students, they have been read. These are the references. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. If you have any question, then they can be asked.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a very informative sessions, and the students and I also gained immense knowledge about the pharmacist registration. If any student has any question regarding this, so they can ask or write down in the chat box. I think no one has any questions, but I have one question for this.
Yeah, you may please, ma'am.
Okay, so if any student wants to go abroad in a for a further study, so you have been said like they want a pharmacist registration and transfer. So in which country they have to go and doing their pharmacy service like as a pharmacist or pharmacy technician in which country?
Oh, okay, ma'am. Ideally, abroad in terms of either it's a United States of America or either Canada. Of course, it
Yes.
depends on the country to country. They have the different requirements. But for
Yes.
the pharmacy, they having the bright future in the terms of Canada because they are the young pharmacist. And of course, I would be say that about this pharmacy curriculum. I would request you. Of course, India it is having the good in terms of the Gujarat itself. It's a lots of pharmaceutical industry available in the Gujarat state. But nowadays, there is before few years back, just on around 2010 or 12. After that, recession was came into the pharmacy field. So somehow, students they are migrating into another country. That was somehow stopped. But now, just 2 to 3 years back, now students they have been shifted to the many countries, especially Canada and America. So I would request you, those who have very good financial power and good knowledge of this, pharmacy, they want to make the career in the abroad. So I would request you, please further study carried out in the abroad. In fact, when I was in the when I was the associate professor in the BPharm, I mean BM Shah College of Pharmaceutical Education Research, there are lots of students. They went to the Canada and they have been settled down, and they are getting a very good opportunity nowadays. They are the owner of minimum 2 to 3 medical stores. Some of the students, they are getting good job in the industry as well as a registered pharmacist. So there is a good opportunity available in the Canada as well as the US. So students, they can, if they having a good financial power, they having a good speaking, either that you have to go for their IELTS, TOEFL and GRE. These are the basic requirements, documentation that you have to submit in their respective country. But country to country, that requirement it may be differ. But as I'm knowing that US and Canada, that when you are applying, so that you have to submit such a kind of the certificate.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Anyone have questions regarding this, so they can write in a chat box. I think we will wait for 5 minutes.
Not a issue.
Okay. The other question is that
Yes.
is there any opportunity for a post-doctorate fellowship?
Of course, madam, that many people, they are, in terms of pharmacy, I will also tell you about the pharmacy. But apart from this, currently I am working with the assistant registrar in Rashtriya Raksha University.
Yes.
So many students, they are, many students, they are over here. Recently, a few scholars, they are coming from the Afghanistan. A few scholars, they are also coming from the Bangladesh also. So,
Yes.
and we are also providing the research assistance to them. So similarly, our students, they can be also applied for the research proposal and research assistant to the different kinds of the university in the different countries. And regarding the postdoc, so of course, postdoc fellowship, it is available, but that we have to verify each and every university. We have to make the proper study for each and every university in the foreign countries, and they are totally giving a good opportunity to the Indian students, because Indian students, they are totally hard workers as well as they have very good mind. In fact, I tell you that Indian students in many of the pharmaceutical industry, as apart from pharmaceutical industry, many CEOs, they are from the India also. So ma'am, it's a very good opportunity that many students they can identify that university, their core area, they can be identified and they can be applied. Many universities, they are offering in terms of entire things they are offering in terms of educations, as well as their research assistant, their accommodation, their travel around, everything they are giving in the free of cost. But only thing is that just we have to shifted from our routine work, like we are chatting Facebook, we are WhatsApp, just little bit for few of time. But apart from that, we have to search that many university they are giving us good assistance for this research matter. And nowadays it's a pandemic, and we know very well how this entire country would be the country, and as well as the world would be affected. So this is the time, and it is time for the challenge that you have to carry it out with the good research, and you have to apply for the foreign countries, and definitely they will be accept your proposal, and they will be invited for the presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And wait for a moment.
हेलो, गुड आफ्टरनून सर।
गुड आफ्टरनून मैम, गुड आफ्टरनून, कैसे हैं?
बस ठीक हूँ सर।
बताइए
सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच सर, वेरी नाइसली you have taken presentation, you have given the seminar on this particular topic.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. And I would invite you, ma'am, whenever I will be getting any chance. And of course, the university, for small things I want to tell you, because it's a pharmacy that we know very well. But nowadays, this university is a unique kind of our university. And it is the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister, then Chief Minister. They have been started. And after that, this university got a national importance status in the last year. So we are working on the, madam, it's an institution for the national importance and for the pioneering security and police university of India.
Yes,
So
sir.
again, I would request you, if any kind of research that would be related with our any police officer, or either any military or paramilitary forces, you can please inform to us, and we will be proceed accordingly. In fact, we have very good research and publication sections that is there. So if you have any good proposal, then definitely we'll be sharing them.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Are they able to see the certificates?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
So you will be sent it on email, na, ma'am?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
As a token of appreciation, sir, I would like to felicitate you with the memento and e-certificate on behalf of the Parul University, Vadodara. Please
Sure.
accept it, and thank you so much to everyone and present here. And I also
thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Bhavi.
Thank you very much, sir, for accepting the invitation and for a very nice and informative session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much again.
Yeah.
Yes. And I will send the feedback link for all the students so they can fill the form. Wait for 5 minutes. ऐसे? कैसे? So all of you are requested to fill the Google form, and e-certificate will be provided in your respected Gmail ID. Okay, so thank you so much for all of you coming. And now okay. Huh? Okay, this is the end of the session. Thank you so much for all the coming. uh, yes, Lakshman.
मैम मित्तल मैम हेलो